Preparing to go live stream. Setting up Facebook Live. And wait for it. All right, I think we are live now. I'll double check here real quick. All right, guys. So, hey, again, I want to welcome every single one of you to the Trivorium training, the Trivorium overview. We're going to double check, make sure we are on Facebook. Go over here. Click on that. Click on that. And we are live. All right. So, guys, with that, I want to welcome all of you. Again, me and Gina, we were in Lake Tahoe. Did a big event there with, again, Ambassador Ark, Ambassador Tatiana, Ambassador Anita Pruitt. Had an unbelievable time. The resort is 5-star, out of this world. Then we flew yesterday to Miami, hooked up with some people last night, some big-time prospects here in the Miami marketplace. Got to bed about 2, 3 a.m. Got up, worked out. Now we're getting ready to head over to the event here with the Ambassador Camila Peraza, Ambassador Mabel Raymond. We got a 4-star almost Ambassador Lucci. We got Armando. We got Yuri. We got Rosa Delgado. Some of our big-time Latin American leaders are right here in Miami. We're going to be hooking up with them at the event here in about exactly 1 hour. We're going to have Darrell Roberts ringing in today from Hawaii. And so we got some great things happening just all over the country, guys. Stuff happening everywhere. We got the live event right this moment in Washington, D.C. We got David and Adela Hart that are there with Ambassador Harlan Hall. Again, Ambassador Paul and Donna Scales, Ambassador Chris Bailey, Ambassador Cynthia Sly. Again, 4-star director Boomy Moore. I'm hoping we're going to get some of them on here today. I got to keep checking my phone to see if they can sneak out of the room and hop on here and give us a little tidbit of what is happening over there. In fact, let me just double check, make sure she's not on here right now. Let's see here. I see Cynthia. I don't know that Cynthia Sly. She normally puts Cynthia. This could be a different Cynthia. So, Cynthia, if that's not you, Cynthia Sly, then just reject my invitation to become a panelist, okay? But if that is you, accept the invitation because we want to get the goods from you if you happen to be on here right out of the gate. But, guys, just so you know, we are running double bonuses right this very moment. Hold on. Okay, decline. So that's not you. Okay, so different Cynthia. Thank you for that, Cynthia. Usually when Cynthia gets on, she puts Cynthia Sly, but you get into people on here, you get multiple names, you never know. But guys, right now we're running double bonuses as a company. That means that if you go sell a platinum product, it is going to pay you a $100 direct sales bonus instead of the normal $50. If you sell a titanium product, it is going to pay you a $50 bonus instead of the normal $25. And we're running those double bonuses all the way through the end of October, so until the end of the week. Now, we also happen to have the 1-star bonus, the 2-star bonus. These are extra bonuses you guys can plug into. If you happen to become a brand new 1-star for the first time ever, a brand new 2-star for the first time ever, there's a special bonus pool that's going to pay out roughly $700 to $1,200, somewhere in that neighborhood, if you hit it. Now, if you hit both, man, I hit 1-star and I hit 2-star. Well, then you're going to get 2 shares of that bonus, and you'll pick up a couple $1,000s. Now, here's what you should be doing with the double bonuses, okay? And you're going to combine it with the waiting room. So with the double bonuses, knowing that for this small period of time, we have this extra money, okay? And you're out there and you're talking to people and you're having conversations, you're following up with the people that you've had on the Zoom presentations, you're doing 3-way phone calls. And guys, if you're not doing 3-way phone calls, you're missing the magic of the business. And I know that some of you, well, I asked them if they want to get on a 3-way. They said no. I never ask. I have never said, hey, is it okay if I bring Darrell Roberts on the call? Guys, I just say, hey, you got a moment? Hey, that's a great question. You got a moment? Hey, give me 1 second. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I just go click, grab Darrell, click, merge. And hey, guess what? I got my buddy Darrell on the phone. Darrell, say hi to Bob. Bob, say hi to Darrell. Say hi to Amy. Say hi to Karen. Or better yet, I might even text Darrell. Darrell, call me. I'm talking to Amy. Next thing you know, Darrell's calling me. And I say, hey, hold on real quick. I hit answer. I hit merge. I'm like, Amy, you're not going to believe it. But my partner, Darrell, just happened to call me right now. What are the odds? What were the odds? Of course, I texted him to call me, right? But I just hit answer. I hit merge. I bring Darrell in, and I let Darrell take over the conversation. If you are not doing that, then you know why your business is not growing, okay? You don't need any further training. That's why your business is not growing, because your business will grow in direct proportion to your ability to create social proof. Now, what is social proof? three-way phone calls. By the way, if you get on the Zooms and there's testimonials on there, that's social proof. If you get them on, let's say, the Dream Life page and they get to see all the recorded stories, that's social proof. If you get on the brand new company website, have you guys seen the new website? Maybe I should bring that on here today. The brand new company website, it's gorgeous. We have stories on there. You need to be using and plugging those stories, okay? And that's social proof. If you take someone to a live meeting and they get to meet all the other people, that is social proof. But you also want to make sure that you're doing three-way phone calls, getting your prospects on the phone with other people. Because when you do, they get to hear the stories, and the more other people they get to talk to, the faster your business is going to grow. Whenever you have a prospect, let's say her name is Karen, and you're talking to Karen. Now, you may not know this, but Karen's out there putting out little tidbits. She's out there having little conversations with her brother, sister, best friend, husband, neighbor, kind of, putting the feeler out there. I'm looking at this thing. And guess what most people's advice is on something they know nothing about? Let me say that again. What is most people's advice on something they know nothing about? And let me give you an example. I'm going to pretend that I call you up on the phone and I say, hey, by the way, I'm thinking about investing in these oil wells. Do you think that's a good idea? Well, if you don't know anything about oil wells, you're probably like, well, Todd, you better be careful. I mean, I've heard some stories. Your advice, when you know nothing about the subject, is always going to be negative. You're not going to be like, yeah, Todd, that's a great idea. You ought to do it. Because then if it doesn't go well, who am I going to blame? Possibly you, right? So most people don't want to go on the hook and say, yes, you should charge in, you should do that. Most people are going to be saying something negative, even though they know nothing about it, okay? And even the people who think they know something about it know nothing about it. You get someone that thinks they know network marketing, get them on the phone with me. And they're going to find out, oh, okay, maybe I didn't know that much, all right? I mean, they don't know that the industry is now over $200 billion. They don't know that Warren Buffett, the fifth richest man in the entire world, owns not one, but three direct selling companies. Yeah, Warren Buffett owns Pampered Chef, okay? Oh, yeah, that's one of those big old pyramid things. They don't know that Richard Branson, the billionaire from the UK, owns Virgin Airlines, Virgin Galactic, putting people in space, was the keynote speaker at the Pyramid Convention, the network marketing convention, a handful of years ago, telling people, guys, this is the direction things are going. They don't know that Citibank, one of the largest financial institutions in the world, a bank that has $2.6 trillion under management, a bank that is bigger than most European countries. They don't know that they own, by the way, they sold it and made a fortune, okay? But they own Primerica, one of the biggest pyramid things in the United States. They don't know that in network marketing, it's not the person on top who makes the most money. That's where you happen to work. Yeah, where you work is a pyramid. If I said, man, who makes the most money at any of you, wherever you work? Well, that would be the CEO. Everybody knows who the answer is. That's the CEO. They're the person on top. They're the ones making the most money. Who makes the second? Well, that would be the vice presidents, and then the assistant vice presidents, and then the senior managers, the managers, the assistant managers, and then we get all the way there to the bottom where you happen to be. And how much do you make? Well, I'm making the least, right? That is the story of most people. But yet, in network marketing, when I look at my organization, I look at my structure, I look down about 20 levels deep, then I go down 40 levels deep, then I go down 100 levels deep, then I go down 200 levels deep, then I go down 350 levels way down there, and I see Eager and Larissa 350 levels below me, way down there. I've been here 13 years. They've only been here 3 years, okay? By the way, Larissa just had her baby. I want to give a huge shout out to the Nikiski family. Eager and Larissa just welcomed their seventh child, brand new baby, absolutely gorgeous. So congratulations to them. So yes, the hearts, the love, the prayers, guys. Please keep them in your thoughts and prayers. But yes, brand new baby, congratulations. But anyway, so when I look way down there, I see Eager. I mean, again, I've been here 13 years. They've been here 3. But Eager's a 5-star ambassador. She's a 3-star ambassador. So collectively, the two of them make more money than me and Gina. Now, wait a minute. Hold on. How can somebody at the bottom be making more money than somebody at the top? Because it doesn't work the way they think it works. Okay. Most people know nothing about network marketing. In network marketing, the only way to win is to help somebody else win. What's so bad about that? I only succeed if I can help somebody below me succeed. Is that how it works where you work? No, that's not how it works where I work. Where I work, right? I'm not trying to help the people below me succeed. In fact, I'm trying to keep them down there so that I can stay up here. I'm afraid that if I teach them everything I know, they may come take my job. That's not how it works here. I would love nothing more than for every one of you to become 19-star ambassadors and pass me and Gina up. Why? Because we get a little sliver of your business. Okay. I mean, so the better you do, the better we do. And so in this industry, it works different. And yet people think, oh. So again, most people have no idea what they're talking about. So again, if you're not doing 3-way phone calls, if you're not getting people on the phone with other people, that's why your business is not growing. Okay. Now, put this to the side for a moment. Let's go back to the game plan. So the game plan, I'm out there, I'm following up with some prospects, guys. And what you're looking for is to get that first yes. You're looking to get that first yes. You call up and say, by the way, we're running double bonuses. I want you to be able to take full advantage of those double bonuses. Now, if they don't get all excited and jump all over that idea, then what you do is you say, look, by the way, because I'm earning double bonuses, because the company is willing to kick us back twice as much, you know what I'm going to do for you? I'm going to take that $100 direct sales bonus that I'm supposed to earn. I'm going to give it to you so that you can join right now for $100 less. Instead of costing $369 on a platinum, it's only going to cost you $269. Now, if you're making that kind of an offer, you're going to find out that a lot of people that you're talking to have been thinking about joining, but they just needed the reason to do it, right? They're procrastinating. They're dragging it out. They're dragging their feet. And what you want to do is give them that reason to make that decision now. To actually go out there and get it. Oh, that's right. Hold on, Darrell. I just happened to check my phone here. Guys, Darrell is here. I forgot he's in Hawaii, and the thing won't let him on. Hold on. Let's grab this real quick. There you are, Darrell. I thought maybe you were just sleeping in a little bit. I knew you'd be here, but I just thought maybe you were, because I know you're in Hawaii, which is 3 hours behind. So this call is like 6 a.m. for you. All right, guys, give it up for Darrell Roberts, 6 a.m. in the morning, and he is here. All right, here we go. Got him a co-host. You're still on mute, buddy.
Yeah, Todd, keep going, man. I'd love to give up my $100 to actually get a new person signed up now than later. But yeah, guys, it's just after 6 a.m. in the morning, and we were up watching fireworks late last night out here. Truly, truly unbelievable. Todd, keep going, buddy. I know
You,
you've got
you,
to leave early.
it's good. There's like 6 hours difference between you and I right now, and we're both in the United States. That's crazy. Yeah, but guys, so I give up that $100. Let's say I give that up to Darrell, and Darrell says, "Man, if it's $100 off, he was thinking about it, but he was just procrastinating, dragging his feet like a lot of us do." Hey guys, this is why if you ever go like search for furniture, you're looking at furniture stores, they say, by the way, if you buy right now, there's free delivery, there's $100 off. They're trying to give you the reason to make the decision now. You know you're thinking about buying it. We're simply giving you that reason to do it now and not procrastinate. So Darrell says, man, if it's $100 off, I'm in. $269, sign me up. Darrell goes into my waiting room for 7 days. Well, then I call up Lorraine Finley. Lorraine, my gosh, we got double bonuses. You need to get in. She was said that she doesn't bite. By the way, I got $100, double bonuses. I'm going to give you $100 off. And I got one guy I can put below you, Darrell Roberts. This guy is going to be a beast. And oh man, gosh, yeah, sign me up. So I get Lorraine to sign up. Then I go to the third person. Okay. By the time I do the third person, I may not even have to bring up the double bonuses. I got 2 superstars I can put below you. But let's say I do bring up the double bonuses. By the time I get to the fourth person, it ain't even about the double bonuses. I got 3 superstars I can put below you right this very moment. Guys, every one of you have a 7-day waiting room. And my record on doing this is 12 people. I mean, I went from one person to the next, and my record is 12, where, I got 9 people I can put below you. I got 10 people I can put below you. I got 12 people I can, well, actually, the 12 person was the number. I got 11 people I can put below you. I mean, so that was my record. But you guys can go run these chains of chains and then drop the entire line in, and then you go do it all over again. So next time I do it, all those people are going to go down below Darrell. And let's say then the next time all the people go down below all those people. I'm simply driving momentum using the double bonus as a catalyst to get that first person to say yes. Because the first yes can help me get to the second yes. And the second yes can help me get to the third yes. And at that point, I got momentum that goes to the fourth yes, the fifth yes, the sixth yes. And that's why I use the double bonuses. And if you're doing this, guys, and you're also doing the strategy of helping them launch their business. So, for example, when Darrell signed up, hey, Darrell, look, we want to do a launch party for you. Now, that could either be in person, we're doing a travel party, or that could be a Zoom. But, Darrell, we want to schedule 2 launch parties for you. Now, why 2? Because we are going to schedule a party for Tuesday and Thursday, or Thursday and Saturday, or Saturday and, Monday. The reason we want to do 2 is I'm going to have Darrell invite 50 people to his party. Now, out of the 50 people he calls, some of them like, Darrell, you're doing it Tuesday night? Oh my gosh. Any other night of the week, I could have made it. But man, Tuesday, I'm busy. Darrell says, no problem. I'm having one on Thursday too. Okay, I'll be there. Right. And so again, we
Right.
booked 2
Number one
parties.
that will stop your, sorry.
we know that most we know that most people don't like to say no more than twice. Okay, they might say no once, but and come up with an excuse once. But if you come back, I got one a couple days later. Right. And so we're going to invite 50 people. Now, out of the 50 people you invite, 15 are going to show up. Out of the 15 that show up, 3 are going to sign up. But imagine I got Darrell, I'm booking the 2 parties. He's inviting 50 people. We're about to put 3 people in the business. Then when I call Lorray Finley, I say, Lorray, man, I got Darrell. He's already booked a party. He's got all these people coming over. He's going to be signing people up. Man, Lorray gets even more excited. Then she signs up. I book her party. And then I happen to call, let's say I call, Derek. And I say, hey, Derek, man, I got Darrell and Lorray. And I just keep scheduling these parties. Now, one more thing. Let's say that I'm doing this chain of people and I'm bringing them in. And one of the final people that I bring in on the chain, and we'll just grab somebody here, happens to be Aaliyah. Hi, Aaliyah. That's my granddaughter's name. So we're going to use you, Aaliyah. So, Aaliyah, let's say that you are like the 10th person I'm putting in the business. So you're the 5th person I'm putting in the business. And I'm going to be putting Darrell and Doc and Lorray below you. I'm going to be putting, all kinds of superstars below you. Deborah Taylor. I'm going to be putting Benny below you. Carol Casper below you. Coach Wright. And I say, hey, by the way, Aaliyah, before I drop all these people in below you, okay, you have to sponsor one person on each side anyway. Do you happen to have a brother, mother, best friend, somebody you want to get in quickly that I can put all these people down below them too? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me get my mom on the phone. So mom says, yeah, man, I'm in. Well, hey, mom, just before I drop all these people in below you, Mom, do you have anybody that you might want to get in before I do this? Because I'm not just doing the chain with my own people. I'm doing the chain with my people's people. I'm going to be putting all these people in below you. Do you have anybody that you might want to get in that wants to get in before they get in? And then I go to that person. Do they have anybody who wants to get in before they get in? And so I'm not just using my own people. I'm using my people's people. And again, this can help you drive chains of business, right? Drive big lines that you can drop in and create your own momentum. And it begins by getting that very first person. And right now, the double bonuses is a catalyst. It's a reason. Guys, we have double bonuses. This is a reason you got to do it now. Because we have double bonuses, I'll kick your money back. I'm going to give you a reason to do it now. And then we can try to drive that activity and drive that momentum. But hey, guys, just real quick, I want to kind of cover that game plan. But hey, let's go back out to Hawaii. Mr. Darrell Roberts, how are you, sir?
Well, Todd, I'm just doing phenomenal, man. This is just unbelievable. I mean, we're doing Zooms in the UK, doing Zooms in Africa, doing Zooms in the US. There's a frenzy going on. The only one thing I want to add with what you talk about, guys, people say, well, why I got to give $100? Todd just gave you the clue and the reasons why you want to do that. But let's say you're brand new. Would you give up 100 plus 100 plus 100, $300 to get rid of your 135. Multiply 135 being given up times 12 months. So, guys, the $100 times three, if you just did it times three, would it be worth it to eliminate the 135? Guys, it is a no-brainer, the easiest decision, and Todd couldn't have laid it out any better, showing you how to create momentum in your business. And guys, when you do this, when you follow his game plan that you're talking about, guys, you got to do it with some energy. You got to do it with some momentum. And hopefully today at the at the bottom of the hour, whenever Todd has to leave, Marie and I put together a training, guys, that we think, and again, different leaders will tell you different things, but we think it's the number one challenge that we all have in our business. And we broke it down. We show you what that is, and we actually show you how to actually fix that. And hopefully, if Todd, you stay as long as you can. But if Todd has to leave because he has a big event, Todd, your hair's slicked back, man. You look
Yeah,
great, man.
got my cufflinks on.
You look like
Got my tie right over there.
you look like a movie star, dude. Like you getting ready to head to the set to do something pretty big today.
Yeah,
So,
got the
but guys,
watch
it's just
on.
it's exciting times, guys, but create the momentum. Create the momentum. So what if the first person says, no, no, then you go to the next one. You have a list of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 people. Break Todd's record. Set a goal. I'm going to break Todd's record. I'm going to get 13. I'm going to get 15. And I'm telling you guys, don't let the first two no's or the first 4 or 5 no's stop you. That's one of the challenges Maria and I are going to talk about here in a few minutes if we get that chance. But don't let the first 2, 3, 4, 5 no's stop you. And you say, oh, this isn't working. And then you go watch TV. That's what people that never become successful, that's how they act. You keep going to the fourth, the fifth, the sixth until you get that daisy chain started. Once it gets started, guys, it's not going to stop. But Todd, it is so beautiful out here. The weather is so amazing. I walked for about 40 minutes yesterday. I still have to use my
Wow.
cane situation because it's still healing, but no pain, felt so great. And
So that everyone knows, Darrell had a hip replacement. That's why walking 40 minutes is a big deal in the case. So
yeah,
everybody may not know that, right? But Darrell just had a hip replacement,
yeah.
in August, right? So this is a brand new surgery, trying to get that mobility back, trying to get that strength back, trying to get that thing, all the way it needs to work. So wow, 40 minutes, that's great.
And in the ocean out here, the beautiful ocean, the salt water, the swimming pools, man, I'm in pools every single day doing my rehab. So we just happened to pick Hawaii to do the rehab and just kind of take it over the top.
You
So,
just happen to pick Hawaii. I mean, if you're going to do rehab, why not in Hawaii?
why not in
By the way,
Hawaii for two
well,
weeks?
the water's warm. It's better for the hip. I mean, I'm out here for medical reasons. I love it. Hey, guys,
Unbelievable.
I love the way you framed that up a moment ago, Gerald. Because hey, would you take $300 one time to eliminate your $135 a month? Well, guys, that means I've spent $300 one time to get a return of $1,600 a year. That's what your membership costs. $300 one time to get a return of $1,600 a year every single year. Would you put up $300 one time to get $1,600 a year? And so again, it's a no-brainer, right? I mean, not to mention, what if you did that for Darrell and Maria? How many of you like to have Darrell and Maria in your business? Well, I didn't want to give up the $100. Oh, okay. Well, you just lost out on 50,000 people. I mean, don't worry about the $100. I mean, I would chip in any amount of money to get somebody going, to get somebody excited, especially that first person when you can run the chain of people. Now, all of you should have a chain of people because you have follow-ups, right? You should always be building that pipeline of people that you talk to. Might have been a year ago, might have been 6 months ago, might have been 18 months ago, might have been 3 months ago. But man, we got the double bonuses, man. I'm going through the entire list. Hey, the company's doing something special right now. I know we've had some conversations in past, but just so you know, I have a couple people coming in the business this moment. I can kick you back $100, make it cheaper for you to join. I got two superstars I can put down below you. Hey, if there's any chance you were open to looking, let me know. Next, right? And you're going back and just doing that rapid follow up with people. Hey, if now's not a good time, no big deal. I'm not going to try to convince them, but there's a lot of them. If you put it that way, man, you got two people put below me and $100 off. Hey, man, let's have a conversation. And then here's a third person, then a fourth person, then a fifth person. And you can, again, run these chains, right? Now, don't forget to spend the time to help make sure that we get them all, acclimated to the business, do the back office walkthrough, understand the product, make sure that you'll do the launch Zoom, help them make their list of people, help them know their why, do all those things we do to get somebody started. And the better of a job you do there and you get the launch parties started, the more greater chance you're going to have for duplication. But if you guys do that, you can literally create your own momentum and drive a lot of success. And as Darrell mentioned a moment ago, too many people, right? They say no after two or three people. In fact, it's really sad that most people's career in network marketing or Trevorium, their fortune, every one of you could go on and make 10, 20, 50 grand a month. Every one of you. From where we are today, every single one of you have that potential to do that. Doesn't mean you will, but you have the potential to do it. And the number one thing that's going to determine whether you just live paycheck to paycheck or live the life of your dreams, sadly, is going to come down to what the next five people say. All right. It's going to come down to five people. And too many times you're calling your drunk, broke, unemployed brother-in-law who knows everything. He's an expert on everything, right? Now, for some reason, he ain't got no money. For some reason, can't pay his bills. For some reason, nobody wants to, but he knows it all. All right. He's an expert. And so, that's, usually one no. Okay. Well, one down, four to go. I mean, like, guys, what are we doing here? I mean, Darrell Maria, when they launched their business, they had 300 people they had to talk to before they ever got to a Danny Seguinal. And by the way, then it took another year before Danny actually got going. And so then if you think about Darrell Maria, the timing wasn't right. Took over 3 years to get Darrell Maria to say yes. Then they had to start making phone calls. And then it took them a year to get their number one guy to say yes. And then it took him a little bit of time. Now today, you're all, man, I would do anything to have Darrell Maria and Danny in my downline. But guys, all of that took years. And most people, they're only going to talk to 4 or 5 people. I mean, they're not going to be around 90 days. And they're just shortcutting their own potential success because it takes a little bit longer. And there's nothing that you can become successful at in 90 days. Can you become a school teacher in 90 days? Can you become a nurse in 90 days? Would you like to have someone operate surgery? Because Darrell just had a hip replacement. Imagine that Darrell's doctor says, well, Darrell, I started learning about this about 90 days ago, but I think I got it down. I mean, no.
I'm going to consult with 3 or 4 doctors and just see if I can figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, you can't imagine. I flew into Miami last night. How about you get on an airplane with a guy? Well, I started flying 90 days ago, but I think I got it. I mean, no, I'm not getting on a plane with a guy that started 90 days ago. Okay. I mean, you can't become a policeman, a fireman. You can't become even a lifeguard. And I mean, it takes more time. And if people would just spend the time that it takes, in fact, if you would spend a fraction of the time, a fraction of the money, a fraction of the energy that people spend on college, okay, just a fraction. You have any idea what your income potential here would be versus what your income potential there would be, especially when you look at where we sit as a company, where we sit, the industry that we're in. Because I was doing all my meetings in Kazakhstan, Darrell, and one of the things that you and I talk about a lot, and we've been around the industry a long time, is the fact that a lot of times you get involved in a company, and it's a good company, they got a good product, but unfortunately, so many companies are only going to be here for 2 or 3 years. Yeah. Now, sometimes it's not their fault, sometimes it is their fault. Sometimes it's because they have a product that, man, that product's exciting today. We got this acai juice, really good stuff. It's exciting today. And oh man, I love that. But then eventually Oprah Winfrey says, hey, you got to try the acai juice. You can get it at Walmart, Costco, or any store on the corner near you. And there went the opportunity and the whole thing disappeared. Now, why do I bring that up? Because you're going to learn that it takes time for an organization to maturate. So when you look at me and Gina, we have this huge income. We've been so very blessed. But obviously, why did we make way more money here than we've ever made any other company? Well, one, yes, the compensation plan is a lot better. Yes, we have a better CEO and founder. Yes, we have a better product. Those are true. But the biggest thing is because we've been here 13 years. We've been here 13 years. It takes a while for the group to maturate. It takes a while for the group to spread. It takes a while for other leaders to form. And if you're in a company where, man, we only had a 3-year run and now we have to start over in a new company, you can make a little money, but you can't make big money if you're always starting over. And so
No
when
legacy.
go ahead.
No legacy money.
Yeah. When I began my career, if you want to make money, aloe vera, that's where it was at, man. You got to go sell this aloe vera stuff. Well, that only lasted a few years. Today, you can buy a 5 gallon drum of aloe vera at Walmart for $5. Well, then it was grape seed extract, pycnogenol. Now you can buy a 90-day supply for $7. Well, then it was resveratrol. And then it was the mangosteen, the acai juice. It was the noni juice. Well, now you can buy that stuff at any Walmart for nothing. Well, then they were doing like, liquid collagen and CBD. Well, guys, CBD was hot for a moment. Every MLM company was selling it, but now it's on every street corner in every town all across the world. There's no money in CBD. And all those people, they start, get 2 or 3 years, and then they have to start over again. And there's no money, no legacy money in starting over. You have to find a company where I can be there, right? For, again, 20 plus years. I just saw, some Jeff Roberti, obviously someone well, Darrell. I saw, another gentleman, from Legal Shield. He just had his 27th year in the business. I mean, guys, how do you make 40, $50 million in this industry? By being there 27 years, 30 years. And so when I teach people my formula for success, my number one rule now is you got to find a company that's going to be here 20, 40 years. You got to find a company that's going to be here 20, 40 years. And our product gives us a huge, huge advantage. Travel is never going out of style. They were traveling at the time of Abraham. They were traveling at the time of Genghis Khan. They were traveling at the time of, Jesus. They were traveling at the time of Christopher Columbus. They were traveling 100 years ago. They'll be traveling 100 years after we are all gone. And travel has always been, always will be, never going out of style. When somebody gets back from vacation, guess what they're thinking? Man, when can I go on my next vacation? They never get tired of it. We have two companies that monopolize this industry, which is what set up this unbelievable opportunity for a company like ours to bring a brand new model to the largest industry in the world. This is never going out of style. Then you look at David Hart being this conservative CEO, right? Ultra conservative, paid all of his bills, all the vacations we go on, he paid for it last year. He paid the rent last year. He does everything a year in advance. He's buying these multi-million-dollar properties. He's paying cash because we're a very conservative company. This is the kind of company where I can be here for 20, 40 years. That's number one. Number two, you hear Darrell and I talk about it every week. You got to read 10 to 15 pages of a good book all the time, right? The personal development. Number three, you got to be prospecting 3 to 5 people every single day, without exception. Not every other day, not when you feel like it. We are professional conversation starters. I kind of share with all of you that me and Gina, we sponsored 5 people in the month of September, and we were in Central Asia for 2.5 weeks. How did you do that? Well, we did this thing that only a few people can do. We sent a message that said, me and Gina want to wish you and your family a very happy Labor Day. Okay. We sent that out to lots of people. But guess what? They replied back, oh, Todd and Gina, how are you guys doing? We've been seeing you travel. They give me the updates. All this, it got the conversation started. Guess what's coming up next week? Halloween and All Saints Day. I don't celebrate Halloween. Then send out an All Saints Day, right? Halloween's on the 31st. All Saints Day is on the 1st. You can send out a happy Halloween, happy All Saints Day. What follows that? Well, 3 weeks after that's Thanksgiving. But guys, you can get the messages out before Thanksgiving. Hey guys, we're entering the Thanksgiving time. We're entering the holiday time. Me and Maria, me and Gina, right? Just want to send you, you and your family, a happy, a happiest of Thanksgiving, a happy fall season. Just so any reason to send a message, any reason to get a conversation started. Well, guys, in your phone, if you go to your contacts, how many people are in your phone? If you go all the way to the very bottom, it'll tell you. And my phone, it's 16,000 contacts, so just shy. How many are on your Facebook? How many are on your Instagram? How many are on your WhatsApp? How many are on your YouTube? How many are on your TikTok page? How many are on your LinkedIn page? How many are on your Snapchat, Flip Flap, Bip Bat, right? All the I made some of those up. How many are on your pages, right? Every single one of them should be getting a message from you saying, hi, how are you, right? And so this is part of prospecting 3 to 5 a day. Now, when you run out of those people, and if you're doing a good job with asking them for names and numbers, you should never run out of people. But every day you're bumping into new people. You're at the airport, you're at the stores, you're in the restaurants. And then again, guys, we can use social media, and there's 10,000 other ways to meet a never-ending number of people. Next, you have to plug into all the company events. Guys, we have a big event happening in Orlando, Florida. In fact, I think they just sold out the tickets for the gala. Like that just sold out. But we have a
Wow.
big event in Orlando that's going to be February 28th, 29th. You must
Unbelievable.
be there. That's not conditional. If you're like, well, Todd, I don't know if I can make it. Well, I don't know if you'll make any money in our company then. I mean, it's
Yeah,
not
exactly.
conditional. If you want to make money, you want to be an ambassador, you'll be there. If you're like, well, I can't, well, then you may not succeed. I mean, enjoy your job. And I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just saying that if you really want to succeed, you will be there. You'll find
Yeah.
a reason to be there. You'll create the money, save the money. Oh, well, it's expensive. Well, guess what? We got Christmas coming up. You know what I want for Christmas? I want some money so I can go to Orlando, Florida, and so I can change my life. You will find the reasons to be there. If you were getting drafted into the NBA, Major League Baseball, getting drafted into the NFL, hey guys, the draft is February 28th, 29th. I don't know if I can be there. What? Trust me, every kid that's getting drafted is going to be there. There is no weddings, there's no birthdays, there's no other extraneous event that's going to be more important than them being there at that event. Then finally, plug in all the company events, and then next, you have to tithe, guys, tithe some of your money. As you make money, give some back to other people, and you must save 20% of your money. That is biblical. Now, if you didn't know that, if you open up the Bible, you go to the story of Joseph. You can read about Joseph, who was in captivity for 13 years, wrongfully imprisoned, but he had the ability to interpret dreams. One day, Pharaoh's having these dreams nobody can interpret. The cupbearer remembers Joseph. They bring him out. He interprets the dreams. He goes, I see the 7 fat cows coming out of the river, followed by the 7 skinny cows. What does that mean? He says it's going to be 7 years feast, followed by 7 years famine. Pharaoh says, my gosh, what do we do? And Joseph says you take 20% of the grain during the feast years and you set it aside, it will multiply and it will cover you for the rest of your life. It'll cover the famine years and everything else. And that's what exactly they did. They set the grain to the side and it multiplied and multiplied and multiplied and he fed nations. So, but it's an economic formula. Tithe 10, save 20, learn to live on less than you make. Well, Todd, you can't live on less than I make. That's not true. That is absolutely not true. I don't care where you live. I don't care how much money you make. I can find somebody in your town who makes half as much as you and they're getting by. I can find people in your town who live on a different side of town and they're getting by. Now, I get you might have to work your way there, but it's learning to trim the fat. It's learning to be content, whether you have little or much, learning to live on less than you make. And if you do that, you will become wealthy. Now, you can meet all kinds of people that won the lottery. They became professional athletes. They became NFL players or basketball players. They made millions of dollars and they went bankrupt. Nicolas Cage went bankrupt. Johnny Depp went bankrupt. How do you make all of that money go bankrupt? Because they didn't learn to live on less than they make. It's not about the amount, it is about the philosophy. And even if you make a humble salary, but you learn to save, you can accumulate great wealth. And even if you make millions, but you spend more than you make, you can go broke. It is not about the amount, it is about the philosophy. And with us, Chivorium, over the next, 5, 10 years, as you plug in and you start reading the books, you start developing the mindset, as you get to be around all of the ambassadors and Darrell and Maria and Eager and David and Adela Hart, and you again sharpen the mindset, you are going to develop the skills to not only increase your income, but then because you've got the right philosophies to increase your savings, to increase your investments, and to create unbelievable wealth, to build a financial wall around your family that nothing can penetrate. And this industry, more than any other industry, gives the average person that chance to change their life. When I got
Yeah.
here last night, there's a big time prospect here. He's actually in the company, but he's not been doing much. And he's here in Miami. He actually picked me and Gene up at the airport. And so he picked us up. We went and had dinner last night, and and he's been doing some different things. He's talented. He's entrepreneurial. But Darrell, he has a very clear vision of what he wants. He wants to buy a big old farm, and some or another. There's these pigeons. He's a championship pigeon. They have the homing pigeons. They race the pigeons. They do so with pigeons. It's expensive. I never do this, but he did it before, and but he wants to go buy this huge ranch, and he needs to make about $50,000 a month. And he came to the conclusion that only in network marketing can I make 50 grand a month. It's just not realistic anywhere else. I mean, most people are not going to start their own business and have it succeed. It takes so much major capital to start your own business. 95% of them don't work. Well, you're never going to do it with a job. You're not going to do it selling insurance. You're probably not going to do it selling real estate. I mean, how many realistic options do you have where you can start part time with no money and go out and build a residual income that's going to allow you to do the things you really want to do in life. And that's the conclusion that, I mean, David Hart and Darrell Roberts and me and Eager and Larissa and Ark and Tatiana. I mean, these are all people who've been entrepreneurs their entire lives, done lots, I mean, done trucking businesses, had a cookie shop, had a painting business, had a construction business, had a detail business. I mean, people that have been engaged in entrepreneurialism their entire life came to the conclusion, guys, there is nothing better than this industry. It's not a perfect industry, but compared to everything else, there's nothing better, right? And Darrell and Maria right now are going to take you guys and walk you through their game plan for how you can overcome the things that you need to do to go out and succeed in this business. So, guys, it's an incredible industry. It's a simple formula, something that every single one of you can do. We're bringing a new model to travel, and there's not a single reason that every single one of you, starting from where you are today, some of you will happen quickly. Some of you, it might take you 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, 10 years. Doesn't matter. How long have you been working already? 20 years. And if you quit working tomorrow, how much would they pay you every week approximately? Nothing. So if you took you 10 years to become an ambassador, where you had 10 grand a month coming in every month, whether you worked or not, guys, there's nobody retiring, very few, who have 10 grand a month coming in. In fact, you got to hear from Paul and Donna Scales, work for the government their whole life, and when they retire, they're getting 2 grand a month. He replaced his entire retirement that took him 30, 40 years to build in about 4 months working with Chavorium, where it surpassed it, right, guys? There's nothing better than what we're doing. But, hey, guys, I got to go hit the event here in Miami with Camila Peraza. But we're going to have Darrell and Maria cover what they call their number one training. So, Darrell, I can't wait to see the recording of this. But yeah, I'll get turn it back over to you and Maria, and I appreciate you so much, buddy.
Hey, man, you guys have an amazing day. Tell Camila we said, what's happening? ¿Cómo está?
¿Cómo estás?
¿Qué pasa? Yeah, guys,
¿Qué pasó?
¿qué pasó?
¿Qué pasó?
Yeah, guys, we actually did this training a week ago, and since that time, it's been about 500 people that have watched the replay of this. And we want to show it to you guys right now because it kind of dovetails into what Todd was talking about today. If you're going to go out and talk to people, one of the challenges, now you can get 4 or 5 ambassadors or leaders in this industry, and they'll say, well, that's number 2 or that's number 3. But Maria and I think this is the number one issue that stops you from making your business a huge success. And we're going to show you what that is, and we're going to show you how it actually works. Check this out.
Sorry about that.
The number one challenge that will stop your growth, and the number one reason people fail in our business isn't because it doesn't work.
That's right.
It's because they stop working it too soon. Guys, that's the biggest challenge. When people first get started, they're fired up. You're fired up, right? You see the 5-star resorts at 2-star prices. You know, new people see the wholesale travel deals that are out there. They imagine the lifestyle, traveling more, traveling better, traveling for less. People get pumped up. They get excited. And guess what happens next? They start calling family and friends and coworkers and church members and neighbors, etc.
That's true.
And the first few people they talk to do what? Say no.
Oh, that's right. And then, suddenly the fire that they had starts to dwindle, starts to fade. They go from, this is going to change my life, to, maybe this isn't for me, right? I mean, but when you talk about, here's the truth, right? What we're talking about, you just ran into normal. That's just normal. Every single person who ever built something successful went through that exact same moment. The moment when people didn't believe them, didn't support them, or how about just ghosted them completely?
And guys, you might think you did something wrong. Let me make it clear. You did not do anything wrong.
Nope.
You just hit the part of the process most people never make it through. Guys, Marie and I, we talk about the book from James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits. We talk about it all the time. He calls this in his book, and I say this all the time, you are entering the valley of disappointment. And here's what happens. Most people go there to die. Most people quit there. And that's why most people never get to financial freedom.
Nope.
They can't handle that season between planting
Yeah.
and then the season of harvest.
Yeah.
There's two separate entities there. This is the biggest challenge we go through. The number of key people I've sponsored here, this year, and the potential they have is mind-boggling. But when they talk to 5 or 10 people, don't get the correct answer, then they are gone. And a lot of them are doing things that are not making money for them. A lot of them are doing things that are not creating that financial freedom, those 6 Saturdays and 1 Sunday every week. Now, guys, Todd and I, we talk about this probably at least once or twice a month on our Saturday corporate training. You've heard the story of the farmer, right? Everybody's heard that, right? Guys, he plants the seed and he doesn't dig them up the next morning yelling, "Where are my apples?"
True.
That just doesn't happen, guys. He knows it takes time. He's got to water it. You got to do the sunlight, and you got to have patience. He understands the rules of engagement. And a lot of you and some of your new people, they don't understand that. Guys, that's your business. You've planted some of the seeds. You've had conversation. You invited people to presentation. You've sent videos to people. You got on some of the Zoom trainings yourself, like you're right this second.
Yeah, and Darrell and I believe that your job right now is to keep watering, even when it looks like nothing's happening for you. Seriously, that's what you got to do, because something is happening. It really is happening. It's just underground, right? You're growing, even when you can't see it yet. And another truth that we know, people aren't saying no to you. They're saying no because they don't understand what you understand. Let's just keep it simple, right?
Right. Who would say no to staying at 5-star places at 2-star motel prices?
I know.
Guys, our dream, our world tours, you can't even get a Motel 6 at some of the prices at 99% of the prices that we offer. So who would say no to that is exactly what you just said. Something to the fact that they just don't understand what you understand.
They don't understand
yet. They don't understand, if they're network marketers, that our compensation plan, 188 left, 188 right. Everybody else has to do 1,000 people. You've got 376. They don't understand it yet. Sorry.
And no, that's okay. And you have to remember too that people have been trained their whole lives to play it safe, right? They've been told, get a job, work for 40 years, retire broke, and then you're going to die. And that's what they know, unfortunately. So when you show them that something that can actually give them freedom, they're like frozen. They totally freeze. And we want to know that, and you know this, they're not bad people, right? They're just stuck in being comfortable, right? They're just comfortable. They're familiar with what they know or think of what they know.
Again, guys, I'm going to say some of the same things over and over again because that's what's on my heart today, because I see this and it is a tragedy. One of the biggest reasons people fail is simply they quit too soon. Guys, if it doesn't happen right now, or if the first few people they invite don't show interest, they get discouraged. Now, I get it. That's human nature. They check out and they convince themselves that, well, the company doesn't work. This stuff these guys sold me doesn't work. But guys, again, here's the truth. We're going to keep repeating the same thing. People can smell your energy. They can feel that if you're half in or if you're all in.
Like your toe in the water.
If you stick your toe in the water,
all in the water, right?
You're not going to learn how to swim by sticking your toe in the water. Great point there. And guys, it's like Maria and I, when we started, we were obsessed. We took time to figure it out if this is what we're going to do. Once we decided to do it, it's like one of those pit bulls. When they bite down, they're not letting go. And people say, oh, well, Darrell, they got lucky. No, guys, we just busted our butt. We know this. And I really want you to understand it. We're going to get the fixes on the other end as well. So again, here's the point, guys. If you're just hoping that this works, they're going to know it. They're going to smell that. If you're treating this like an experiment instead of, I'm on a mission, they're going to sense that as well.
People can
That
feel
they
that.
can feel if you're faking or not. No one wants to join someone who's unsure, guys, of themselves. People follow belief, not doubt. They follow confidence, not curiosity. Why do you think we sponsor so many people, guys? But here's the deal. I see it all the time. Someone launches big. I said it earlier. They invite 15 prospects, and then only 3 people show up. This is what's happening in your groups there, guys, and you can fix it as well. 3 people show up, and none of those three don't enroll. And then that's it. That person is done.
Yeah.
They're done. They're mentally checked out when all they needed to do, here's the answer, guys, is just run it back. And then run it back again. And then run it back again. And then do it again and again, because success doesn't usually happen on the first launch.
That's right.
Somebody, I want you to touch your heart and say, success doesn't happen on the first launch.
Success doesn't happen on the first launch.
Guys, it happens when Mary sees it on launch number 4 or maybe launch number 7, and she gets started and she brings in 5 people in the next 30 days. But because you invited 15 people, 3 showed up, none of them signed up, you're ghosting your sponsor, or your people in your organization are ghosting you. And this is the reason why they don't understand this. And that's why I said, guys, this is one of the most important trainings that we've done, because once you understand this and you plug people in, you make sure they're listening to Jim Rohn, you make sure they're following the leads, you make sure they're putting the why down and all of that. But guys, that's how business is built. It's not built with luck, but with belief. It's with repetitiveness, to repeating things over. It's built with consistency. And that's the only reason Marie and I are here. When you take an IQ test, guys, I'm telling you, it's not up there. Maybe for Maria it is, but me, I'm a regular average guy, but you're just not gonna outwork me. When I first started, I started hearing no's. It was disappointing as heck. I can tell you that, guys. It was frustrating. I probably wanted to quit, but I wanted what was on the other side of the valley of disappointment more than the no's that I was getting. So I stuck. I stayed. I kept doing the things, and all successful people do this until they get to the 6 Saturdays and 1 Sunday. Do what you want, when you want, with whom you want, anytime that you want. And that's the point. We got to get this fixed right there at the beginning.
That's right. And here's something that Darrell and I know that and understand, is that your conviction is contagious. Let me repeat that. Your conviction is contagious. But you know what? So is your doubt, right? But let me give you some inspiration. You're different. You are totally different. You're not here to fit in. You're here to break that pattern. You're here to be the one who finally says, I'm not doing what everyone else does, right? So let's talk about what happens when that moment hits. When you feel negative, when you feel like quitting, right? We gotta talk about that. How about when you feel like, man, nobody's joining? What is going on?
Anybody felt like that before?
Maybe this isn't for me, right? So what do you do? What should they do?
Well, again, guys, first of all, you want to breathe, right? Guys, so I want you to breathe right now with me. Those of you focused on what we're doing here, breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth. One more time, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Okay, lower those shoulders, loosen the shoulders, and one more time. In through the nose, out through the mouth, guys. So after you breathe, go look at your why. Why did you join in the first place? Guys, you don't have to remind me of this back in the day. Because again, was it for you to pay off debt? Was it to take your family on a dream vacation, to buy time freedom, have financial freedom, never work for somebody else again? Was that your why? Matter of fact, guys, that was most of your whys or some part of it. But guys, here's the catch. Most people never actually write their why down.
That's true. That's true.
After all we say about the why and how important it is and how obsessive I was and other leaders and people that become successful, they don't write it down. Hey, go to learnthistraining.com and click on the red button there and go through that information. If you don't know what my goals are, if you don't know what my why is, you cannot help me, especially when I fall down and I have challenges. They think about it once. Hey, check your why out, get that done. And the person thinks about it maybe once, then
Yeah.
guess what? They forget about it.
They forgot it.
Guys, that is one of the most dangerous things you can do, because when your why isn't written down, guys, it fades when the life challenges and obstacles hit you upside the head.
That's so true.
So here's what you need to do right now. Again, we're giving you the problem, we're giving you the answer. Take out your phone or a piece of paper and write this down. We're going to give you a minute, or you can come back for the recording. I'm building this business because, and finish that sentence.
So I'm building this business because finish the sentence. That's right. So write it. Don't think about it. Just write it down. Of course, we all know that when you write it down, you're going to own it, right? Again, I'm building this business because. Write it down. Now, when that day comes where you feel like giving up, we want you to look at that paper, or if it's written on your phone, your why.
And you may do it later tonight when you really
Yeah.
can think about it and go through it. When the kids are asleep, when the hubby or the wife is asleep, now you can actually take the time to do that and write that question. And you'll be able to watch this training again. It'll be up later tonight.
That's right. Before you make a move, you want to look at that. Always look at your why and read it out loud. Read it out loud. You're going to remind yourself, right? I'm not quitting on my family. I'm not quitting on my future. I'm not quitting on my why, but that's how you push through. When we're talking about the rough days, right? That's how you push completely through, because the only way that you lose in this business, and we're looking straight into the camera
I know
at
the
you.
answer.
That's right.
Is if you quit, right?
That's right. That is true. That's the only way that you lose in this business. But the only way that you win is if you stay long enough to grow.
Wait. That is the key. We showed the video in the front. The guy, first month, kind of the wheel was square. Second month, it was a little oblong, a little still square, but a little bit better, shaved off. And then a year from that point, it was round.
That's right.
Guys, that is the secret we're sharing with you tonight.
Yeah.
Don't quit. Don't give up.
That's right. So again, let me repeat, the only way that you win is if you stay long enough to grow. And you can't say the wrong thing to the right person.
Yeah.
We've said this before. And you can't say the right thing to the wrong one. So stop taking all those no's that you're getting personally. Don't take them personally. Every no that you get is getting you one step closer to your yes. Every I'm not interested or just means not yet. That's all that means. Just not yet.
And the crazy part? The crazy part, guys, the same people who told you no will come back later and ask,
True.
Hey, are you still doing that travel thing? Anybody ever experienced that? If you haven't, you stay in long enough and you follow the directions to become successful, you will have that happen on a consistent basis. It'll start trickling in slow in the beginning, but over time, all those folks that said no, didn't want to get involved with you, 5 years from now, see what you're doing, how you're living, and they're going to want to do that as well. And guys, at that moment, here's the epiphany. That's when you smile because you didn't quit before your harvest. So here's what I want you guys to do tonight, guys. I want you to check this off. Check this off.
That's right.
I understand that some people will say no. Write that down.
I understand that some people will say no.
I understand this is part of the process.
I understand that this is part of the process. Please feel free to repeat after us right there.
I will not quit before my harvest.
I will not quit before my harvest.
I have written my why.
I have written my why.
I will look at my why when I feel disgusted, busted, and discouraged.
I will look at my why when I feel disgusted, busted, and discouraged.
There you go.
Yeah.
Again, guys, so if you can check off all 5 of those boxes, congratulations to you guys. You're officially in the 1% that finishes what they start.
Woo-hoo.
Now, if you didn't get that, guys, again, in a few hours, 3-4 hours, this will be up and we'll tell you where you can actually get it. But guys, I want to make this clear. You're not here just to take vacation.
Nope.
That's great. That is, part and parcel of what we do. You're here to build financial freedom. So keep showing up, keep sharing, keep planting seeds, because the people who don't quit end up living the life everyone else only dreams about.
Yes.
Marie and I could have quit 1,000 times
1,001
in the
times.
beginning, because we didn't have any of this with this company.
Yeah.
Even back in the day, 35 years ago when I got started, it was tough. It was different. I could have just stayed at a job and collected a paycheck and would have been miserable, but decided not to do that. I decided I want to live my future. Guys, I can look back at the company I was working for, $1 billion pharmaceutical company. And these guys, I just didn't like some of the people that were working there. And, you got all the office politics and the crap that you got to deal with.
Yeah.
And I wanted this type of life. And I knew I would have to pay a price. But I want you to know, how did I know I would have to pay a price? How do you think I know? Somebody give me a couple of answers there. How did I know I was going to have to go into the valley of disappointment and I would have to either die and quit there, but decided to keep going? How did I know this? Guys, lots of reasons. I'll help you out. Some of you guys are writing. That's fine.
Your mentors prepared you?
Jim Rohn told me that.
Janice.
Jim Rohn told me that. Les Brown told me that. Dwayne Davis told me that. Other leaders, Anthony Robbins, Brian Tracy, every key person that's out there. And guys, here's the key point. You cannot go listen to Jim Rohn one time and say, oh, I listened to him. Guys, that is going to do absolutely nothing for you. It may do something for you, but you need to listen repetitively, just like you are on your cell phone every day. See, if you did that and treated your business like that, guys, I'm telling you, you guys are on track to become a millionaire with this company. There's no question about it. But how did I understand that? I listened to the mentors. I showed up to the meeting. I showed up to the presentation. Marie and I turned our car into Drive Time University. We didn't listen to KSOL in the Bay Area or KBLX, the jazz station in the Bay Area, my favorite stations. More KBLX, more KSOL for Maria, or
more KMEL.
But we made a conscious decision. We said, well, how bad do we want to do this? Maria said, I want to do it bad.
Yeah.
I said, how bad do you want to make so much money that you can do what you want, when you want, whenever you want? We had these conversations. These were conversations Marie and I had. And then we decided, well, here's one thing we can do right now. We can turn off the radio and we can put in the CDs of these people and listen to them. People to this day, people say, well, Darrell, how you doing? I say, fantastic and improving. I learned that 30 years ago from not from Jim Rohn, from Zig Ziglar, listening to it. Because he was talking about when people say, well, how you doing? I'm fantastic. I'm okay. Under the circumstance. Well, how did you get under the circumstances anyway? And you project your future. So even if I'm not having the best day, which I'm having the best day, I still say fantastic and improving. Who's listening?
Your brain.
That subconscious is listening, guys. So if you say, man, I'm okay, and I know sometimes, guys, you're not okay because stuff happens. I almost said that. Stuff does happen. I get that. And sometimes you just don't feel like it. I get that as well. But it served me well to say that even when I was in the doldrums,
that's
even when I was
It
down.
picks you up even when you don't feel that way.
And I hear some leaders and teachers say today, well, if you're not feeling the way, you should say it the way. I disagree with that. But again, to each his own. But that's just what helped us out as well.
Yeah, tremendously. So as we move forward with the training, we're going to go into the Q&A and then the updates. Okay, after that.
So just closing that part out, guys, the people that you run into challenges, that's the biggest challenge you're going to run into, guys.
Yeah.
So it's very imperative to get your new person, hold their hand, make sure they understand this. On learnthistraining.com, you click on the red button at the top, new partners do this first. Then you go through each page. Okay, so guys, hang on. We'll hopefully get back on in just a couple of seconds. But guys, that's it. That's the biggest challenge. Your person wants to launch, they go out and launch, and nobody signs up, and then they're gone. But if you listen to Jim Rohn, wherever you listen to him, we've got it on our site, 5-minute segments on that, and it talks about all of this stuff. It talks about what you're going to have, what the challenges is, and if you can make sure your person knows this could happen the first time, but if we launch the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, and seventh time, that's what's going to create a lot of energy and success for you. So if they know that right up front, it's going to make a huge difference. So guys, I want to thank you guys for staying a little bit extra here today. Todd had an amazing message earlier there. Marie and I are going to be doing our deep dive tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 3 o'clock Hawaii time, 6 p.m. Pacific time, 8 o'clock Central, and of course that's 9 o'clock.
Sorry about that.
If you have a leader that already has a presentation that you're plugging into, go do that presentation. If you don't, you've got some guests, you want to see how we do our price comparisons. Well, tonight, guys, show up here, bring your guests, and I promise we're going to do our best to show them the best opportunity, the best travel service, the best travel club, the best opportunity on the planet. So again, just want to say thank you to you guys. Now you know what we think is one of the #1 challenges people have. Let your people know this could happen and show them how to fix that. And it's listening to all the key people. It's plugging in over and over again, and then letting the harvest happen when it's supposed to happen. So God bless you guys. Appreciate you guys. Love all of you guys. Go out and make it a great day. You got the $100 bonus. Go tell somebody about it. Good night, everybody.